at that. Hey guys, welcome to the ranch. Today we're going to do some more trailblazing out in Les Bush, way back in there. But first of all, I'm going to clean up these hedges a little bit that I absolutely butchered a while ago. That was when I first got a hedge. My first experience with trimming hedges was bad. It did not go well for a bunch of reasons. I ended up cutting a 250-foot Ethernet cable that feeds a camera over there that I just had temporarily run. I hadn't trenched it yet. So that sucked. Exactly while I was trying deliberately to not cut it, I cut it. Anyways, after that fail, I was like, you know what? I was gonna give up, but I'm like, you know what? I have to clean these up too. These bushes here just bothered me because they wreck my view, and my view is incredible. And when I'm sitting up on the deck with my morning espresso, I like to be able to see things without having to stand up, I guess. So I was like, you know what? We're gonna tackle these bushes. I'm gonna do it. So I did. I just did a really bad job, but that's okay. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna come back, hit this again anyways. So I'm gonna hit it right now. So I'll pop you into my camera, a little tripod here, and you can watch me do that. Be the first time using the tripod for something. And let's start this guy up. Then we're gonna hit the bush with the loppers and the hedges, and see what we can do. All right, so as before, when you're starting this guy, leave the cover on because you need to engage the throttle. And that means that these blades will all be running very quickly. And then if anything ever happens, or your hand gets down there, it's a bad day. It's a bad day. Choke again is when the little butterfly valve is shut or partially shut. Choke is on, kill switch is off. Kill switch is off. That's a kind of a funny one. We will put the throttle lock in so that it puts pressure on there. It'll actually hold it physically. And, I guess we can give it a couple of those to make sure there's fuel in the carb. And then let's go. Just like that. That's so sketchy. Okay, it's warm. It'll start for me good in the field now. I'll leave this here. I'll take my own advice. Just give it a quick little jerk and it'll go. So I'm pretty sure I can safely do that. I don't believe that my blades should be continuously cycling like that. Oh, these are all loose. Why are these loose? These are not supposed to be loose. I just watched a maintenance video on this thing, and yeah, ooh. Maybe that's why this is doing this. This is not supposed to be doing a few different things here that it is doing. What happens when you buy used stuff? Got a good deal on it, but sometimes people do weird things. So these are supposed to be tight, which they are not. He may have loosened them because he may have been getting sap buildup in here because he's not using his sap thing, which is evident. You just spray on there that breaks down the sap and the resin so that it doesn't come up the blades. You don't have to loosen things. So we will tighten these before I use it anymore, now that I know what I'm doing. And we'll see that stops my blade issue, because those things constantly moving is frightening. I was just turning it off all the time as a safety mechanism when I'm walking around. Also saves gas. First look at my junk room. I figured we may as well do this while we're here too. So this is your little scrench, or whatever they call it, screw wrench thing. 25 Torx, that's Stihl sends you like all their products, and you use them to basically tighten everything. And then I believe these little bottom ones are 8 mil. Sure. All right, let's tighten these up. And because the guy I got this from was potentially a bit of a goober, let's open up the gearbox and see what we're dealing with. Let's see if we ever actually put grease in it. Given how tight this is, I kind of doubt it. You own this thing for 10 years. So this is just a little grease spout. You open this, and then Stihl makes a little insert where you thread it in. It looks like something's actually broken in there. I don't know. You're supposed to just thread in a little tube, squeeze the grease, and that's what... well, there is grease. That's okay. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. Okay. Let's see if there's something inside this gearbox here that would tell me why my blades are forever moving. it's actually, okay, don't start engines inside. I've got a fan on in here. I'm only going to run this for a second, but generally don't do this. Look at that. Okay, it's way better. It's way better. So they weren't supposed to be doing that. Huh. Okay, my kill switch is off. Yes, good. Good, good. All right, so let's, you see that? Do you see how much less they were moving? That's great. So maybe it was just because these were so loose, it allowed those things to go. All right, so my last video, I was kind of an idiot because I just thought that was normal. Now granted, I'm a noob with this stuff. That's why I'm making these videos, to share with other noobs, such as yourself, that are new to ranching, new to yard work, new to adulting. My fellow millennials, my phillennials. This is for you. I'm sharing my experience and my whatever this ends up being. There's going to be a gasket in between this gearbox, the cover plate, and the housing itself. So be careful, mind that. You don't want to be tearing your gasket and then needing a new one. Let's just see what's going on in here. Make sure that the actual blade is attached tightly. Hoorah! This thing is definitely on there. Wiggle it. Now be careful. Alright. Alright, so there is grease in there. That's good. Oh, there's that piece. Okay. Cool. Alright, there you go. There's a gasket. Everything's intact. And I turned it upside down and dropped my screws, so don't do that. That was dumb. Alright, so this is good. You can see there's actually a decent amount of grease in there. So that's all good. I probably could use some more. That's okay. There's some gunk up in here. I'm going to try and get that out. And then otherwise, I'm going to make sure these two are tight. You pop those off if you're going to swap your blade. So I'm not going to swap my blade here today because I don't have a swappable blade or a replacement blade. But we're just going to clean this out, put this back on, make sure those are tight, and we'll be off in the woods. All right, that's back on. A couple of things to check while I got you here that I was told to check. If these springs, if your engine's being wobbly or wonky or anything like that, check the springs. If the springs break, which they can over time, they're your dampening springs, which just isolate the engine's vibration from you as the operator so you stay nice and comfy for long times. You can also check your throttle cable here. If that's loose or broken, they rarely break, but apparently they can. And your air box. We can pop this guy off quickly and just see what our filter's looking like. All right, so this filter pops right out, and it feels like it's got some fuel on it. If it's got fuel on it, that means something. I don't know. It's not great, but it means something. If this starts to separate, get a new one. Yeah, it means I'm getting some blow-by from something. Why am I doing that? I'm not sure. I need to learn more. I'm a noob. I'm still learning. As we progress with all this kinds of stuff, I will get better because I have like 15 Stihl engines now. That might be a slight... It's not an exceptional or an excessive exaggeration, but I probably have like 8. So I will be getting better at all this stuff, and I'll bring you along for the ride. So, at any rate, that's gonna work for now because it worked before, and I only know what I know, so we're gonna continue. Side note: always put your tools away because when you do, they're where you want them the next time you want them. Side note: clean up when you're done. It just keeps your place nicer. I didn't say clean up amazing, I just said just tidy. Look at that. Not perfect. Probably still take your finger off. Way better. Well, I need a little more extension and a little more power. This is the power scythe or power sickle, and it has well, actually they look pretty similar. They're supposed to be bigger and more powerful than the regular ones, so we'll see. But should help me cut through some of these chunkier hedge bush branch things. This guy plugs right into the Stihl combi unit somewhere. There it is. Yes, there we go. Tighten her up. Slightly odd that it's at this angle though. Weird. That's got to be a mistake. WTF, mate? That can't be right. This sucker's brand new. I haven't used them yet. This is turned funny. FHKM. It's a KM. What gives, donkey? That's a little place where you open it up and put the screw grease in to grease this one's gearbox. It's got a metal gearbox. You can slide it around the ground for sickling things. But it is a very weird angle. I don't understand. I suppose all I need to do is unloosen these and tilt the whole thing. I can probably do that. Yep, that was as easy as I thought. All I had to do was loosen off these screws and I could tilt the whole thing till it was in line with the thing. So I thought these things were made in Germany, but someone was sleeping on the job, I think, when they put this guy together. All right. And this thing just feels like a weapon, which it basically is. Same procedure. Do the thing. Put her on choke. This one's got an auto choke. Yep, this one's got an auto choke. And let's give her a rip. First one. Dogs didn't like that apparently. Hoorah! That thing works great. Alright, so this video got a bit long because I really dove into those hedges. So this hedge video will be its own video, kind of the maintenance element on the HS81. And we'll go find my cat here. And then we'll do the trailblazing, because that was actually a pretty long segment too. And it's pretty cool. So that'll be the next one. So we'll do 2 videos close together. So once again, we are playing our favorite game, Retrieve the Cat. So the, whatever the GPS tractive thing said, he is right about there, based on like the maps thing where compass. And he's about as far from the tracks that way as I am to the track. So he's deep in there somewhere. Let's go find him. And we're going to time it, starting now, roughly. All right, I'm getting pretty close, probably 40 meters. A little kind of quad trail in here for the rancher that checks on his cattle. And the map said that he was just in here somewhere. Cattle, like deer, also make paths. Theirs are generally a little bigger and more well-trodden. There he is. Hi, bud. Look at that. Hi, buddy. Wow. Wonderful. These are perfect little highways for you, aren't they? Nice. All right, come, buddy. Let's go home. Good kitty. Thanks for coming to me. Nice. We'll explore them at some other time. For now, it's back home. Everyone's inside. Everyone's happy. Got the cat. And I'm going to enjoy one of these non-alcoholic sours. Amaretto sour. My wife got me because I have a cold and because I just don't want to have the alcohol. Update, it's amazing.